Islam has got a value system which is its foundation. Then from the value system emerges a system of norms, and out of the norms emerge principles, and from principles emerge laws. So out of these laws we have taken just a few, and we try to do as best as we might be able to do, but it has actually been, it is not a matter of pleasure for me to emphasize this thing time and again. Our approaches have become partial. And this is happening in the whole Islamic world today, unfortunately. Either the approach is what I should say historical, that my forefathers were Muslim and therefore I am a Muslim, and I take pride in being a Muslim. This is historical approach, that Islam is a legacy. And everyone in this approach is a Muslim by accident, because he was born in a Muslim family, therefore he is a Muslim. If he had been born in a Hindu family, he would have been a Hindu. Then there is a social approach or a cultural approach, that we have inherited certain cultural principles from our forefathers, and that is our culture, and we must try to make the best of it, and we should try to stick to it. Then when people proceed beyond that, then if they are educated, they want to have a philosophical approach or an academic approach, which is purely academic, which consists only in intellectual gymnastics and nothing beyond that. Or if we want to become very pious type of people, according to our concept, then our approach is ritualistic. Islam stands for certain rituals, of course it does, but not in the sense that they are rituals, but in the sense that they are the highest spiritual exercises. Prayer is not a ritual, actually. If it is said without that spirit, then it becomes a ritual. If it is said in a constructive, positive manner, with the understanding of what are the values that stand behind it, and why should a person pray, and that this prayer is communion with God, and communion with God is something real. It is not merely something of my imagination only. And this communion is consequential. It bears fruit. It builds me up in my personality. And this thing that I have been ordered as a Muslim to pray 5 times a day, this also has got a very deep meaning, because as a Muslim I should try to be a godly person, and I should try to remember God all the time. So at intervals, 5 times a day I have been asked, starting from my waking up to the time that I go to bed, I should perform this communion in order that the focus of my personality and of my emotions and of my thought and of my will, that focus remains correct, focused on God and God alone. But if we don't pray in this manner and with this consciousness, then it becomes a ritual. And then also something happens in the case of many people nowadays, unfortunately. A term I have coined for it, is called piety complex, like inferiority complex and superiority complex. It's something like piety complex. So a person who prays 5 times a day and conforms to certain external forms in his dress or anything else, they usually develop a sort of complex. They look down upon others who don't behave in the same manner or don't come to the masjid. So punctually. So all these things are happening because in my humble opinion, there is no proper channel of imparting the knowledge of the whole of Islam comprehensively. We should teach what is the ideal of Islamic life and what technique has been given to us for that ideal. As I said at one place, I think here or at some other place, that if you look at Islam from the point of view of ideals, you will find that the ideal is Islam is positive, constructive, forward-looking. It is not apologetic, it is not defensive, it is not passive. It believes in activism. And because it believes in activism, therefore its entire outlook on life and the entire Sharia is based on the concept of progress and evolution. And this progress cannot be possible until and unless the obstacles that are there are conquered. If you want to make progress, if you want to walk in a wild country, you will meet with numerous obstacles. You will meet with forests who will stop your way, you can't go further. You will meet with hills and you will meet with valleys and you will meet with ponds and lakes and so many things, you see. So you have got to conquer them in order that you may be able to find a way from one place to another. You will have to build a road on the basis of certain principles and make a way where there is no obstacle. The road is that piece of land where there is no obstacle. It is all smooth. So here in life also we have got numerous obstacles. The obstacles